What's up, guys? Dinofries here, and today I want to talk about MapleStory Classic World. Specifically, what I want to see in MapleStory Classic World, what changes I would like to see implemented, and basically not so much my perfect MapleStory Classic World scenario, but a realistic one. In case you weren't aware, by the way, Nexon announced an official old school MapleStory experience in the form of MapleStory Classic World. No release date yet, but it's coming, and it might be coming soon. And people are hyped. Man, I'm hyped. And you know, expectations are super high, but also I can understand that a lot of people are, you know, they're a bit cautious because, you know, Nexon could, you know, fumble this, you know, this thing that I don't know about you guys, but that we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for. I know many of you have been waiting for, just like me. So I'm going to break this video up into things I would add, things I would remove, and things I would keep. So starting with things I would add. Instanced PQs. So my kind of like vision is that, you know, everyone piles in to channel 1 or channel 2 or channel 3, however full those like first few channels get, and they look for a party. Let's just say Kernan City party quest. They look for a party, they get 4 people, and then boom, they're in the PQ. No need to track other players or be stuck waiting. You know, we're too old for that shit, right? We're too old for that shit. I think PQs should be instanced. They weren't back in the day. I understand the nostalgia that comes with, you know, fighting for a channel to you know, lock down a PQ for that channel. I understand the nostalgia that goes with that. I think PQ should be instanced. Separate IGNs, in-game names, right? So currently the heroic and interactive worlds in GMS, so reboot and non-reboot, everyone shares the same username pool. So even though you're in a different world, you can't, like, someone in Barra can't share the same name as someone in Scania. They have to be different, right? I guess it wouldn't be like the biggest deal. It's just names and stuff. By the way, if I'm wrong about this, or if I don't get my wish, go ahead and go to GMS right now and go save any names that you might want, just in case I'm wrong. But I think, you know, for the classic world, that names should be brand new, like just you know, exclusive to the classic world. Auction house. This is a pretty divisive topic, but I kind of do like the auction house that is featured in Artale. Think of it as like the MTS. I think modern MapleStory actually might have this already, but like the MTS basically, where you can just, you know, kind of list items for sale, but for Mesos, not NX. Although maybe there should be an auction house that also gives you the option to buy and sell stuff for NX. In my opinion, that's pay to win. I don't want that. Just Mesos though. That being said, and I guess this is, you know, also just kind of like a what if not the auction house, then I'm fine with the original free market. I just think that like player shops should be free and not locked behind a paywall. I guess you can kind of make it so that people have to use a, you know, NX to buy like Owls of Minerva, so that it gives them pay. That's like pay for convenience, right? So that they would, you know, save time by spending money as opposed to someone who doesn't want to spend money and has to search the free market for the item they want. But I do think that player shops should be available to everyone. Everyone should be able to open up a shop. And I'm not saying like leave your computer on. No, we're not doing that anymore, dude. Energy, are you kidding me? Electricity bills? No. Like a shop that you can set up and leave there. Everyone should have that option. Make it a Meso sync, you know what I mean? Like make it cost a lot of money, so that like not everyone has shops and like not noobs and stuff like that. But I do think that either an auction house or let everyone set up a shop and keep the original free market vibes. Jump down mechanic, as we saw from the trailer that Nexon showed us, very little footage has been shown off so far, but the jump down mechanic is confirmed. I just want to point that out. And I think that's like, yes, dude, yes, jump down. Are you kidding me? I could not play that game. I could not play MapleStory without a jump down mechanic at this point. Pirates. If you guys noticed, we don't see any pirates in the footage that they've shown us. And they also showed the world map. And it seems like Nautilus Harbor is not there. I don't like that. I get it, and I get that, like, you know, they're gonna kind of start MapleStory Classic World like from the ground up, you know, with just the explorers and just Victoria Island. Then they're gonna add like stuff over time. I love that, but I think pirates should be included. Like, you know, when you really think about it, there are a bunch of classes and options to choose from, you know, like warrior, mage, archer, rogue, right? And there are branching, you know, paths that you can take, but there's not that many, and a lot of us have played like everything before. I don't know about you guys, but I've pretty much played every single class already in its, like, you know, old school iteration. Just pirates, you know, it's like it keeps things, you know, more you know, variety. It keeps it variety, keeps it, you know, fresh. I think pirates should be included at launch. Class balancing, yes, so we need class balancing. Okay, everyone's gonna pick Dark Knight, Bishop, or Night Lord. Let every class be on the same level. I kind of want, you know, I say this all the time in my streams, but I just wish every skill was like usable. There's so many skills in old school MapleStory Classic that are just complete dog shit. Like, nobody uses them. I would like to see every single skill be useful in some way. I'm not sure, like, I think like the fun part about RPGs is that you kind of like make your own builds. There's not really enough stuff to play around with in MapleStory to make your own build. Everybody, you know, you pick a Dark Knight, you're gonna play, you know, the same, you're the same Dark Knight that everyone else is, you know what I mean, in terms of like the skills you have and stuff, and the skill points you add in accordance with as you level. I just think that every skill should be useful, and also I kind of think that we should be able to max every skill and every job. You know, they can just like tweak the numbers so that at the end of each, you know, first, second, third, fourth job, not fourth job, let's say, but first, second, third job, you max everything in the end. And so I guess the build would be like, oh, what do you max first, right? But I want to see every skill be useful, and I want to see classes be on par with other classes. It doesn't make any sense to, like, for example, like paladins, just nobody picks paladin because they're weak, or buccaneer, or only pick buccaneer for speed infusion, being a speed infusion mule. I don't like that. Let every class be, you know, balanced and equal. I think that would be make a huge difference for the game. And then a couple other things I would add is just settings like skill transparency. I mean, modern GMS has way too crazy skill effects and animations. I don't know how much, you know, vanilla is gonna matter much for that. I like the skill animations, I like to keep them on, but skill transparency, things like that would be nice. Also would like to customize the UI. They've shown off the UI in the footage that we've seen thus far. It looks ugly, if I'm being honest. I just want to be able to customize it if possible, move around the chat box and the hotkeys and all that stuff. Just let me customize it, and I think we'll be fine. That would be nice. I mean, it's pretty ugly right now. I don't think a customizable UI is that much to ask for, just to be able to move stuff around. Now let's talk about stuff that I would remove entirely. Leech-in. I know this is maybe controversial. Some people like Leech-in. I don't like Leech-in. I think most people don't want Leech-in. If anything, just kind of like reduce the way that Leech-in works so that you have to like, no, just remove it entirely. I'm sorry. I don't like Leech-in. Leech-in should not be in the game. Do you really want like things to end up the way they were back in the day, where, you know, in fourth job, once you get to a high enough level, you know, it doesn't even make sense for you to grind anymore. It just makes sense for you to pay a bishop or an archmage to, you know, Genesis spam for you at Skelly's. Like, nah, just remove Leech-in entirely, rework the party system to encourage party play, but just remove Leech-in. I understand that it's nostalgic, but it just makes the game worse, straight up. HP and MP washing, yeah, get rid of it. I think from the footage we've seen, it seems like there isn't gonna be HP MP washing, and that HP and MP will scale better than it did back in the day. That's awesome. They'll have to like make it so that, you know, everybody gets more HP and MP. Obviously, you know, warriors are gonna have more HP than, you know, thieves, for example, and mages are going to have more MP than warriors, you know what I mean? That's fine, but just enough so that it's not impossible for squishies to take on bosses. Or I guess you can just nerf bosses in that situation. Maybe you have to do both, but yeah, no HP MP washing. Nobody wants that. Teleport rocks. This actually might be the most controversial take that I've got, but I don't want teleport rocks. I don't know, like I guess I could deal with teleport rocks only working in between cities, you know what I mean? Maybe like a pay for convenience item with NX that allows you to fast travel between Victoria Island and Orbis, Victoria Island and Ludi. They're just basically between major cities. I think what a good workaround for this would be, I wouldn't want teleport rocks. If anything, just major cities, like I said, but just reduce the wait times for boat rides. I think just make boat rides, you know, take half as long as they did back in the day. They maybe were a little bit too long, and also reduce like the wait times. I don't think you should have to wait more than 5 minutes for the boat. I think back in the day, some of the wait times were like 15 minutes. That's crazy. Just reduce, I would say, wait times, because I do think that the boat rides are part of the nostalgia, and there is, you know, something special about waiting for the boat and meeting people, taking the boat together and things like that. Yeah, that's my take. I just think that, I know like in GMS, you know, you just teleport rock everywhere and that's how the game plays, but I just think that that would make the experience, the adventure, less impactful in MapleStory Classic World. NLC potions. Yo, Masteria is my favorite zone. I love New Leaf City. I love Crimsonwood Keep. I love the haunted house and, like, you know, the haunted woods and all that. My favorite zone, but NLC potions are too strong. Remove them. You know, it just remove them. That kind of helps with the whole leeching thing too. It makes it, you know, impossible or harder. I think NLC potions are too powerful. I'm not sure if they're gonna remove them, but I at least wanted to bring it up that I think they should remove them. And I don't think I don't think it makes or breaks the game, but I do think that it would be better if NLC potions didn't exist. Give us NLC, of course. I love New Leaf City, but none of the potions, please. Claw punching and bow whacking. Get rid of it. I get that, like, lore wise or like class flavor wise, it makes sense that assassins would claw punch and that archers would smack with their bow or crossbow. I get it. Remove it. It's just like, it's just more annoying and frustrating than it is like interesting, in my opinion. I think you should get rid of it entirely. It just doesn't contribute to the game at all, and I don't think that archers and assassins are too powerful without it. I just remove it. It helps everyone. Okay, it just sucks. Gender restrictions. I don't think there should be gender restrictions on gear, you know, and that's not like a 2025 take. It's just that, like, there are some there's like a lot of gear in the game that is just straight up better, but you can't wear it if you're a guy, for example. Like the thief, like the level 35 thief overalls, for example. It's just stupid. Like, just remove gender restrictions entirely from gear. Let people wear whatever they want. It just and also remove the same from cosmetics as well. Just let people wear whatever they want. Who cares? And I got a couple more here actually, and it has to do with, I said cosmetics, the cash shop. I think, first of all, I think the cosmetics, the outfits and stuff that you get from the cash shop should all be, you know, pre-Big Bang stuff or whatever. Nothing's too flashy or something. I want to see people walk around with like the white beanie, you know what I mean, and like the seal pillow. I want that nostalgia. That's part of the nostalgia, is seeing people walk around with the drip, like the drip from back in the day. I don't want the NX to be too flashy like it is in current GMS. And along with that, I don't think Gachapon should exist in the game. Gachapon is straight up pay to win. Please, no Gachapon, or make Gachapon earnable not through NX but through mesos. You know what I mean? Just don't make it pay to win. That's like such blatant pay to win. I feel like I also don't even have to say, right? Do I have to actually say don't remove potential from the game? That's like kind of common sense, right? I think everyone would agree. Like that's what the whole point. That's when MapleStory stopped being, MapleStory, which was with the introduction of the potential system and cubes and stuff like that. Obviously, no potential, no gachapon. And last but not least, I want to say don't remove 2x XP drop and meso from the cash shop. Take it away. I guess it's not pay to win. It's more like pay for convenience, but kind of is pay to win. I don't want to see the double XP drops or meso in the cash shop. I think that would make the game worse, in my opinion. Okay, we talked about what I would add and what I would remove. Now let's talk about what I would keep. Rates. Yes, rates. I actually don't have a problem with 1x experience drop or meso. I think that the game can be improved in other ways that make the game more fun to actively grind with, even if it takes a while for you to like level up and progress and stuff like that. You could do things different. You could do things better by making the skills more impactful, class balancing. You can make classes in general be faster and quicker, deal more damage if you have to. You can make mobs respawn faster. You can make like every map viable. It just kind of like what class or like how you want to grind. I first of all, I don't think that they're gonna do 2x experience drop in meso. I don't even think they're gonna do it. So I've made my peace with 1x and I've thought it over, and it's like I think it's fine. I think 1x experience drop meso is fine. And it's even better if they again make classes more powerful. I'm not saying OP. I'm just saying like make classes like more powerful so that it doesn't feel so bad. For example, when you're like a second job bandit and you have to savage blow your way all the way to third job and it feels so bad. Like just make classes more fun and more balanced, and let them maybe give every class like the ability to mob at least in second job to make things more fun and for you to grind faster. I just think that 1x is fine. I think there's other ways to do it. Again, like I said, with the classes feeling more impactful, being faster, mobbing skills, and mobs respawning faster and more mob count in each map to make grinding quicker without just doubling rates, and certainly not tripling or quadrupling rates. At least that I don't think that's the solution. 90-day expiration. This might be a hot take. I am fine with Nexon keeping 90-day expiration for cash shop stuff in the game, just like it was back in the day. And here's why. 90-day expiration isn't pay to win. It sucks if I buy like a cute outfit to know that it expires in 3 months, or a pet. But the way I look at it is it's kind of just a subscription fee at that point. And personally, and I know this is not going to happen, right? MapleStory was the pioneer of the free to play. But I would pay a subscription fee for MapleStory Classic World. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm saying I would. So I look at this 90-day expiration for the clothes I purchase for my character, the outfit I have, the outfit I put together, my pet, my auto potion, my auto buff, all that stuff. I look at that as a subscription fee, and I'm okay with that. Nexon has to make money. I'd rather them make money this way than any pay to win garbage. I think this is one of those things where it's like, in a perfect world, right, I'm being realistic, keep 9-day expiration if that's how they're going to make money, and instead of pay to win. You feel me? And last but not least, I just wanted to say stat requirements. I know the Dexless Assassin is everyone's dream back in the day, maybe still today, but I think in GMS, I don't think you even need secondary stats for anybody anymore, but back in the day you did. If you were a warrior, you needed dex. If you're a thief, you needed dex. If you're a mage, you needed luck. And if you're an archer, you needed strength. And if you're a gunslinger, you needed strength. And if you're a brawler, you needed dex, I guess. You know what I mean? In my opinion, like, that's the only way that you can tailor your character to be your own. Do you know what I mean? Like, with the skills that every character gets, you're kind of like the same, as I mentioned before. Like, every class is the same, and the skills they probably add at first, you know, you're kind of following the same skill builds. With AP, ability points, stats, that's the only way you can kind of get creative with your character. And that's like in my opinion, like the meta game at that point, you know, where it's like, oh, well, like if I'm a thief, I want to min max how much luck I have, right? I never want to add dex unless it's absolutely necessary for me to wear a better claw. The same goes for other classes, like with warrior and like the accuracy game. I understand that warriors with accuracy is like a whole other discussion. Obviously warriors should, like, the accuracy formulas should be tweaked for MapleStory Classic World so it doesn't feel as bad. But I do think that each class kind of like has their own little game. Like mages, like most mages will go luckless, but like, well, maybe I want to go luck. Maybe I don't want to use that cool staff, you know? Archers have a buttload of accuracy. They can hit anything, but the strength to, again, where equipment, so on and so forth. Every class has their little like dilemma in game that they have to play to min max. I think that's cool. Leave it in the game. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much everything I had to say. I would love to hear from you guys about, you know, not just things I said, but maybe I missed something. Let me know down in the comments below. Like, do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree? Did I not mention something that you wanted to bring up? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll totally engage with the comments and, you know, let you know my thoughts and stuff. Please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, I stream. If you wanted to catch me streaming, I mostly stream old school MapleStory Classic. I also stream other games, but yeah, catch me on stream. Sometime I stream on weeknights, and yeah, I don't know. That's it. I'm really excited for MapleStory Classic World. It still doesn't feel real, and I know that sounds kind of corny, but I've been waiting for this for a really long time. So is my community. We're super jazzed about it, and I hope you guys are too. I would like to stay positive, you know, and optimistic. You know, it's very possible that, you know, there's, you know, quality of life changes that seem freaking no-brainers, and we don't get them with MapleStory Classic World. But I'm still optimistic. I'm really looking forward to it. And I also, like, hopefully it comes soon. You know, I've heard people say like November, December of this year. That's crazy. I think that's like the earliest that it would come out, November, December of this year. I think latest, and this is my prediction, would be spring 2026. Hopefully sooner than later. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.